They claim that Arab states have launched secret moves with China, Russia, and France to stop using U.S. currency for oil trading. They plan instead to move towards a basket of currencies. Ooh, that sounds inclusive, doesn't it? I mean, are there sandwiches in it? The basket includes the euro, the yen, the pound sterling, the Canadian dollar, the Swedish crown, and the Swiss franc. There seems to be, oh, I don't know, something missing there. What do you say? Now, just so you know, the Saudi central bank governor denies the secret talks took place. In fact, they said, at this time, there's absolutely no reason to move away from the dollar. We have no plans. So I'm sure we can all assume that the dollar is here to stay and everything is just peachy. But in the off chance that maybe somebody in the Middle East wouldn't tell us exactly the truth, you know, that they're not exactly 100% reliable, maybe we should discover what it means for our dollar and our country if it's no longer pegged to oil. What does that mean for you? Back after the World War, in fact, during World War I, it started, America had a whole bunch of gold. Everybody had gold, okay? But they were borrowing money from us because they were fighting the war. So we said, you know what? Why don't you just give us some gold? Now, after World War II, we officially went to the gold standard for the U.S. And we said, you know what? There's just not enough gold for everybody. Why don't you just use the dollar? And what we'll do is we'll give you guys an equal amount of money so everybody has currency, U.S. dollars. It's fantastic. And we'll keep all the gold. And we promise we're never going to trash our dollar. We never do that to you guys because we love you and we're trustworthy. Got it? So everybody gave us the gold. We still had a nice stack of cash here and gold. Now, did you know that the dollar has lost nearly 29% of its value in the last 7 years? 29%. Well, here's what's happening. Now the rest of the world, see, oil is only traded in dollars. That's it. You can only buy oil with dollars. Well, if we go to the basket of currencies, they get the end of the dollar. Well, they don't need all of this. Already, China is divesting themselves of the dollar. They're just throwing this over here. They're just getting rid of those because what they're doing is they're buying up all kinds of stuff. They're buying up land, they're buying up minerals, they're buying up oil wells, all kinds of stuff. So they're getting rid of it. And everybody else, well, if the Gulf states get their way, well, they're just going to push all these dollars over to here, and they'll just trade in the basket of currencies, which, by the way, doesn't include the dollar. What does that mean? Oh, that means we have more money. That'll be great. Look at all the money we have. Yeah, except if we have all of this money flooding the world, your little stack, where did your little stack go? Your little stack is now worth about that much. Congratulations. Oh, but by the way, don't worry about it because we can just print more of this. It's called monetizing our debt. Hyperinflation. This is why you don't do what we're doing. You keep printing money and there's no stopping. Why is there no stopping? Because the people in Congress don't have a spine. The government thinks, including the president and the last president, thinks you'll freak out if we say, we've got to cut back on our spending. You're not going to be able to have as much. We've got to do the responsible thing. They don't think you're capable of understanding that. They don't think you're capable of doing the hard things. I'm sorry. But if you're one of those people who think America will just always be there because we're America, let me make one thing very, very clear to you. America can fail without vigilance. It is possible. Yeah. Do you remember what happened to the Soviet Union? Oh yeah, it came crashing down, didn't it? Didn't take long for it to fall either. It didn't come crashing down. It didn't collapse. They were saddled with beetles. Soaring budget deficits, foreign debt. During the 1990s, it was out of control. In the 1980s, who did it to them? Then the price of oil declined overnight. Inflation was at 20–25%. The ruble's international strength, it declined. They were embroiled in endless conflict. Where? Afghanistan. Is any of this sounding familiar? Let me show you the parallels, because it didn't collapse. It happened. We were spending them into oblivion. Ronald Reagan, he was bluffing on Star Wars. Why? To get them to start printing rubles, start spending money. He knew they could collapse from the inside on monetary issues. Then, the seeds of discontent. The Pope played a role. How? He got the people inside, fighting each other. Poland, the seeds of discontent. Then, this man played a role. We were paying for this man. Why? Get him embroiled into a war they could never win. Then, the price of oil. Saudi Arabia. Let me just change a few things here for you. Ronald Reagan, God bless him, is gone. Let's change this scenario from Russia to us. Who's got us spending all kinds of money? Who has sown the seeds of discontent to where we're yelling at each other all the time, where we're not allies anymore, we're not even neighbors anymore, we hate each other? Who's doing that to us? Oh, I know, they'll blame it on me. Really? Of course they blame it on me. Otherwise, we got to look at what they're doing. Spending us, sowing the seeds of discontent. We're in a war in Afghanistan. I don't know if you noticed this, not going well. What's the plan there? And then the price of oil. Gosh, what happens if all of a sudden Saudi Arabia says, by the way, the oil no longer paid for in dollars. This is garbage. It's worthless. We have these problems in place, yet our government is still jamming through trillion-dollar health care plan. What? Spending hundreds of billions of dollars on bank bailouts. Oh, they need some more money. How about some more stimulus money? They don't even flinch at billions in the cost of a massive cap-and-trade program. One that in the face of rising energy costs, who in their right mind would raise energy prices on purpose?
Under my plan of a cap-and-trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
Skyrocket? Why would you do that? Why? It is important to note that the Soviet Union did not collapse. It was transformed, which is why this soundbite that I play over and over again bothers me so much.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
What does that mean in context of the Soviet Union? Well, after all of that stuff happened, and their rubles were worthless, and oil shot up, 3 Soviet leaders met in the woods. They decided the Soviet system wasn't working. They knew. They knew it would eventually implode. Let me tell you something. Our leaders now know it will implode if we continue down this road. Well, in the Soviet Union, they drafted a document and transformed the Soviet model. They presented that model, that plan, to the Supreme Soviet Council, who had 1 hour to debate. They were told, going to do this or it's going to implode. You be very aware. Keep your wits about you. Read history. Know what you believe. Know the truth. Question with boldness. Hold on to the truth that you find. And then you speak without fear. I think someday somebody is going to have a meeting and they're going to say, this is going to be worthless, and the people will panic. We need a plan. Oh, there will be a couple of plans, I'm sure. I wonder if those plans will take us farther into freedom or farther into their hands and their control. The people that created this mess will come to you with a plan. You'll have to know, because everybody else will be freaking out. You will have to know, do you want your life and your freedom and your children's freedom in the hands of the people you don't trust with it right now?